Hello guys, it's Glurmit here, and today we're going to be going over relic levels. How important are they, and should you guys be applying them? So this was suggested to me by someone in my Discord, which please, if you haven't, join my Discord. It's a great community, quickly growing, and you can have an input on the videos that created. So they basically wanted to know how important are relic levels for newer players especially, and for long-time players. Should you be basically spending those hard-earned resources, and they are expensive, to put relics on characters? So what I've done here is I've got one character of each relic level, apart from 6, because apparently I don't have a single relic 6 in my roster. Can you believe that, guys? So we're going to be looking at Jawa first. Now, the first thing to note about relics is the mastery. You start with +5, that's going to relic 1. You then go to +10, as you can see, from relic 2. Now, mastery is incredibly important, and if you guys are interested, I can make a video just showing you what mastery is and how it works. It'll take me too long to explain that in this video. Now, the important thing to look at is the stats. So if we look at Jawa, for example, they're gaining damage, critical chance, accuracy, and armor. They're also gaining the same things here, except instead of armor, it's resistance. So the first thing when you're thinking, is this character worth the relic? You need to think, what stats are being increased? And are they worth doing the increases? Now, what I would say, relic 1, 2, and 3 are all very, very cheap. And that means that you can once you get them to gear 13, there's no reason not to take them to relic 3 at least. Here I have a relic 2 character just to show you the continued increases, and as you can see here, mastery always goes up with every relic, and so does health. Now, the health boosts are always nice, and that's kind of where the majority of the relics going to come from for you early game. And by early game, I mean like the first 5 relic levels. Most of the boosts you're going to be wanting to see are actually from health. Now, in terms of mastery, you're now at +15, so it's the same boost as before. You get +5, +5, +5. This is to go to relic 3. Now, if we continue to look down, you can see on a character like Kyle Katarn, the relic levels do a lot more for you. For example, armor penetration is incredibly important, and we got to +30 here. And this all depends on whether your character's an attacker, a support, a tank. All of those things matter a lot. Moving on to a relic 3, you can see we're still seeing very similar mastery gains, +15 to +20. But here, you're also seeing health still get added. So you can see by taking a character from relic 3 to relic 4, you're actually going to see an increase in health still, and this can be very good in certain characters. For example, veteran smuggler Han Solo at high relics has got incredible health still. So that kind of is something to consider. Again, this is looking at an attacker. Look at the armor penetration, guys. It goes from +30 to +40, and like I said, this stacks. This is really, really big. The only thing is, like, going to relic 4, again, not too expensive. These are all affordable pieces. This is not where the relics get expensive. So like I said earlier, what I'd recommend is relic 1, 2, 3, 4, and possibly 5 is where you take most characters. Okay, so here we have a relic 4, and this relic 4 is Darth Maul. This is just a Sith Eternal requirement. As you can see, mastery is still going up at a set rate. Now, the interesting thing here is, I know I said about the health still, that is not always the case. You gain different things. So for example, Maul is actually gaining crit damage, and you'll find a lot of attackers actually gain crit damage, which is really, really nice. So again, this is another reason. Do you want to take that character up a little bit? If they're gaining crit damage and they need that, there's no reason not to. And we just look at the other stats, and the increases are getting nicer. You know, we're going from 17% crit chance to 21% crit chance. For example, say you have a character who needs the crit for their ability. For example, Dash Render, right? He needs the crit in order to give turn meter. When you have him at high relics, he's going to have almost a 100% crit chance. So it's really, really nice to have high relics on certain characters. However, to go from relic 4 to Relic 5 is where relics become a little bit more expensive, because you need these things here. These are horrible to get, guys. And you also need these things here, the Erodium heat sinks, which can also be a problem. Next up, we have a Relic 5, and this is where you see the first big increase to relics. Before, we was only gaining 5 mastery for every relic. Here we're gaining 10. And this is to go to Relic 6. Now, the trade-off is, this is where relics start to get very expensive. Because these pieces, I'll show you guys how to craft them real quick. These are a pain, because you need really full crafted Gear 12 pieces. So this is where a lot of people will go, we're going to stop. We're not going to do any more relics. What I would say, for characters who you're just taking them out for CPIT purposes, or you're just taking them up because you want to, but you don't want to take them too high, Relic 5 is perfectly fine. However, if it's a character who mastery is important on, so that is like Lord Vader teams, JMK teams, and characters like that, you want to be going above and beyond Relic 5, because the mastery gain is just, you can't ignore it, guys. You can't ignore it. Unfortunately, we didn't have a Relic 6 to look at, so we're going to skip Relic 6, and we're going to go straight to Relic 7. So you get 35 plus 10 for Relic 6, and then you gain another plus 10 for going to Relic 7. This is huge, guys. This is where relics become very, very important, but they're so expensive. And if we look here, we're now up to plus 3,000 damage. This is stacking from all the relic amplifiers, so you can see if you're on an attacker, you kind of want to be going to the Relic 7. If they're a good attacker like Dark Trooper, Sith Trooper, anyone like that, you really want to be taking them up the relic levels, because it makes a huge difference. Also, do you remember me talking about armor penetration? Look at how much it's gone up by now. We're now 120. So 120 armor penetration is huge. And yeah, in general, you're gonna see this is they are important, but the trade-off is they're expensive. To go to Relic 7, it goes up to this piece here, and these pieces again are awful to craft, guys. They are awful to craft. So yeah, what I would say is, if the character is very, very important, for offense, I'm talking Dark Trooper important, yes, take him to Relic 7. If it's someone like, let's use Executioner as an example. Don't be like me. This guy does not need Relic 7. Take him to Relic 5 for the SLKR requirements and leave him there. He doesn't, I mean, he's nice at Relic 7, but he doesn't require Relic 7. And this is kind of the things with relics that I think a lot of people don't really account for. Some characters need those high relics, and some characters don't. Now we have the Relic 8, and this is where it gets a little bit exciting. Relic 8s, guys, they are so expensive. You can see here, this is what you would need up to the Aero Magnifiers. Now these are expensive, and if you're not in a CPIT guild, you're probably not going to be getting these at all. Stats. Now the important thing here is, once you get to Relic 8, you're gonna have to go to Relic 9. And Relic 8, guys, I'm gonna be honest. Relic 8 is an interesting one. It is so expensive. The reason being, these pieces here. It is expensive. These cost a fortune. You need like 250 of those pieces to take someone to Relic 8. But if you're using that 120 armor penetration, if it's a key attacker, we'll use Dark Trooper as an example again, Relic 8s are important. Now, I'm not saying you need to go and apply them. I mean, unless you're a top roster in the game, you're probably not going to be using Relic 8s outside of requirements, because you need 2 for Executor, 2 for JMK, and you also need 4 for Lord Vader. So if you haven't got all of those done, I would probably recommend you don't do the Relic 8s and you stop at Relic 7 for key characters. If you do have all of those done, or you don't care about doing those, then key attackers like Dark Trooper, for example, would benefit from a Relic 8. And finally, we are going to be looking at Relic 9. Now, this may change soon. By the moment, there is no Relic 10. However, let's just take a look at the stats here. So, Relic 9, you got to 70 mastery. You start gaining protection. You you gain that health. And look at the bonuses from the health, look at the bonuses from the protection. Also note the mastery is 70 now. Now there was actually a drop. It went from 45 to 60 and it went to 70. So at Relic 8 you actually gain 15 mastery. At Relic 9 you don't, you only gain 10. Now the important thing is this Relic level here changes it completely. Whereas before I would have argued take your tanks to Relic 7 and leave your tanks at Relic 7. Just because they do give you armor and all of these fun things. They didn't really benefit too much from the higher relics. But you go to Relic 9 and all of a sudden they're gaining protection, and they're gaining a ton of it. That's plus 34,000 protection. And this is where it becomes a little bit different. Once you get to this point, tanks need Relic 9. Relic 9s are just so expensive. I would save them for JML. JML is the best Relic 9 in the game, without a doubt. And yeah, basically just be selective. Relics are important. That's kind of the highlight of this video. Relics are extremely important. They make huge differences to your roster, and people don't really think about it enough. Now, they are expensive, but I'm telling you now, guys, high relics on key characters is a game changer. So we're talking Dark Trooper, JML, basically all the GLs, key attackers, all of them. There is one last thing to cover here, and that is with regards to speeds of ships. Relic levels do affect ships. Now, I can do another video on that if you're interested, because I don't want to make this video too long. But for example, a key character you want to take to Relic 8 late game is Darth Vader. Because at Relic 8, his ship will outspeed a Relic 9 negotiator. So if you ever go up against that, you can still go first and do the Empire counter. With that said, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. I hope you found it somewhat useful, and I'll catch all of you guys next time. Thanks for watching.